today we're going to measure the base layer t-shirt for the right 3/4 travel apparel line so that we can move into fitting. And the first thing that we're going to do here is make sure again that this t-shirt is laying nice and flat on the table, and we've worked out any wrinkles. Everything is kind of smoothed out. We don't want to be losing any portion of the measurement just because there's something like folded underneath that we're not able to see. So for tops, we're going to start from top to bottom of the garment, and this first set of measurements we're going to take with a straight clear ruler. So the goal here is to get the top edge of this ruler to align with our high point shoulder points. So from point to point here, we're going to measure across from seam to get our neck width. And then while this ruler is aligned in the appropriate place, we're going to measure down to the next seam here to get our back neck drop. And you can see through the clear ruler with these marks on them so that you can get your correct measurement. While we have this ruler in place, we're also going to go ahead and measure our shoulder slope. So from high point shoulder point here, all the way out to the armhole seam, we're measuring down the ruler to understand how far our shoulder is sloping down. So now we have our first 3 measurements, and we can fill that in on our sheet. From here, we're going to measure across back position. So across back is located 5 inches down from high point shoulder. So I'm measuring down 5 inches and kind of making a mark here just with my finger. And then I'm going to measure from seam to seam across the back of the garment to get my across back measurement. Next, we're going to move down and get a total circumference of the chest. Chest is measured 1 inch down from the armhole point. So we can find that from fold to fold. And then to get the total circumference of the chest, we're going to double this final measurement that we get on the right-hand side. Moving down to the waist, my waist circumference is found 15 inches down from high point shoulder. So again, I'm measuring here, marking with my finger, and then measuring across from fold to fold and doubling it for my full circumference. My last big circumference that I want to measure is the bottom opening. So instead of measuring straight across for this one, I'm going to follow the curve of the hem. And this t-shirt doesn't have a very curved hem. There are some pieces that have extreme curves or ducktails, and you still want to make sure you follow the curve of that full hem. And then we're going to double again to get our full circumference here. Last major point on the body that we're going to grab is the length. So we're measuring here center back length. So I'm going to measure from the neck seam all the way down to the bottom fold of the garment. Some people will go ahead and do a back body measurement from high point shoulder. And when you do that, you want to make sure that you still come all the way to the center back of the garment. You can kind of see how it curves. And if I just went to the fold here, I wouldn't capture the full length. Last but not least, we're going to pay attention to the sleeve. So for sleeve length, we're going to measure from the armhole seam down to the sleeve hem edge. And then to get our sleeve opening circumference, we're going to measure from fold to fold around the curve of the sleeve hem and double it to get our full circumference. And from here, now we can go ahead and start fitting the garment, putting it on our mannequin, doing any markings that we need to do. We can also wear it around and test it without feeling like we're going to stretch it out and damage the fabric at all. So this is ready to go.